go. The question is, how choppy is it? Looks okay. Testing. Yeah. Right. Wrong. Cool. Yo, Techna, you're first in, man. What's going on? How you doing? What's that? That's old school. Ah, no, man. Just took a shower. Actually, I should get my cap on, my thinking cap. Almost forgot. Gotta have that. There we go. Thank you for reminding me. That haircut, like, 3 or 4 days ago. I need something to drink. Let me grab a beverage real quick. What do we have? Dr. Popper. How you doing, man? What's going on in your world? This dude is getting really close to being done. Crazy. What, hanging out here or just crazy in general? I'm excellent. Glad to be finally taking a little break. It's been a long day. So what was so crazy about yesterday, man? Oh, dude, that's cool. That's how we like to keep it around here. Go all over the place, dude. Talk about everything. Yeah, it's fun, Just go off on random tangents. Doesn't have to be just about modeling and 3D printing. They get boring after a while. People telling stories, sharing experiences. That's what it's all about. There we go. A little glue in here. So what'd you get all into today? Do anything interesting? Anything fun? Or are you just chilling? Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, buddy, but it is. That's what happens. We older folks who got to pass the torch. You got to take over, big guy. Oh, that's all right. Which part of the country are you from again? Remind me. I'm bad at that stuff. I forget. But I'm trying. I'm trying to remember everybody's name and where they're from and stuff like that. Getting used to new people, you know. East. Okay. East Coast. There we are. I think that needs a little more glue. Call it a hunch. It's 11 p.m. Oh, okay. Yo, JK. No, you're not late to the party. Fashionably late. Yeah, it's 11 there. Okay, so you're definitely one time zone away. JK, I think you're on the same clock that I am. It should be about 10 o'clock for you, right? Let that dry for a minute. There we go. A little more upbeat. No STDs here. It's a little rough. So, hey, JK, did you find anything else in that room you were digging through? Any of the goodies in there? Help pay your way towards 3D printing heaven? Just a bit of a bugaboo right there. Found a pot of gold, did you? Yes, that one's got to go on the inside for sure. This one's always a pain in the butt to get in there. A Dreamcast. Well, that's old school. Now, if they had a Sega 32X, I'd be like, woof, that's really old school. But that's nothing. I've got a TurboGrafx 16 sitting in the corner over there, new in the box. I'm not sure if you ever heard of that one. About 2 watches, Esquire watches. That's fine. It's a veritable gold mine in there, man. You gotta sand that guy down a little more. Another one of those parts that I probably should have put a little more tolerance into, as opposed to making them one-to-one. Where's my sandpaper? Do this right. There we go. I just assumed it was two watches. Why did I choose voltage? Um, well, I don't know. I think maybe it was just like I was like, what what is kind of like it has a kind of no pun intended, but energy to it, And I was just like voltage 3D because I wanted it to have some connection to the 3D, but give it kind of emotion and not emotion, but a motion to it, and like I don't know, just kind of a fun name. So I figured voltage, electrifying, and just stuck with it. First it popped on the head. I was like, let's just go for it, and it works. Why'd you pick Tecna? That's a good question. Keep it on the fly. I just wanted to do something. People go, what the hell does that mean? Hey man, boring is good. No news is good news, that old saying, Nothing wrong with boring. Oops. Let's sand that a little more. Yeah, I'll take boring any day. I like boring. Hence my channel. We're here to be old and boring. You want to talk about boring, though? What I'm going to have to do in a few minutes is super boring and painful. Well, I mean, just on the verge of boring, like almost boring. I keep enough interest. Like, so anybody seen any cryptids lately? That was fun. Just talking about all kinds of wacky stuff out there. I enjoyed that. I like talking on tangents, Like I was telling Techno earlier, I just don't feel like a channel should just be stuck to just one topic. Just talk about anything, Within reason, Which one? Oh shoot. Put the glue on this thing, not remembering which one this goes in here. Yeah, that's that one. Okay. Go. Massage that glue in there. Get you flat. You got some nice guards on there. Spiky guards. Oh, nothing yet, like didn't really want anything except there is one thing I've been looking for, but I'm kind of saving up for it. I'd like to get a motorcycle. I used to ride when I was younger, and I don't know, the urge kind of came back, and I was like, I'd like to get back into that, because not only is riding a motorcycle fun for me, once upon a time I used to be a motorcycle mechanic, and I really enjoyed taking a standard motorcycle and then making a chopper out of it, like long and low to the ground, and just doing it by myself gradually over time. And I'd like to do that again, I think, like another fun project. Who knows? I mean, like maybe I'll move from this shop to my garage with the cameras and you guys can watch me work on a motorcycle too, once I get one, if I get one. So that's kind of like the long-term birthday plan for myself. It's just to find like a nice cheap old motorcycle that's got a good sound to it, and then make a chopper out of it and kind of bring it back to life with like cheap materials and stuff like that. Yeah. Welcome back. My wife did make me a nice little cake. She didn't put any frosting on it though. God love her, but she's not. She didn't really plan ahead, so I didn't get any frosting on my cake. RZ500. Okay. I want to see what that looks like. Because is that a twin? That's got to be an inline twin. Like I was thinking about getting an inline twin because they can sound good. Like a lot of the old Triumphs had a really good sound to them. Yamaha RZ500. Or is that a 4-cylinder? Let's see. What do we got? Oh, okay. It's it's a jet bike. It's a crotch rocket. 85. Yep. That's what they're showing here. Oh, it's a V4. Okay, so it's a V engine. That guy right there. That's a pretty bike, man. But I'll tell you what. Every crotch rocket I've ever ridden, you can't ride them slow. And, you're saying they're being dangerous. Yeah. Oh, Yamahas are great. That was one of the first motorcycles I had, too, was a Yamaha Virago. That was a twin V engine. But I like cruisers. I like to lay back and just kind of chug along the road. I'm not into speed. I'm just into a smooth ride. Yeah, I don't doubt it with a V4. You could definitely do that. Easy. Oops, let me tilt this down so I don't get too much glare in my face. Yeah, not there yet. Probably just open that channel up a little bit. I don't think I've ever been pulled over by the cops on a motorcycle because, like, again, I always cruised. I was, very chill on a bike. Very safety conscious too. Like at my peak, I had a 1969 XLCH chopper from Harley. It was the last year that Harley was owned by the Harley Davidson family before it was sold, and it was a nice motorcycle. It really loud, but it only had 4 gears on it. It wasn't really highway capable, so it was just kind of like a little town ride, but it turned heads and it was fun. So I sold that guy and I bought a minivan, because I got married and had kids. That happens. Not there yet, but funny thing, when I sold my Harley, it wasn't a local guy who bought it. It was a dude from Japan. He and his wife were doing a American road trip, and they had rented a big, what do you call it, a trailer, and they were buying motorcycles as they were going across the United States and taking them back to Japan because he was a motorcycle mechanic himself, and he really loved American iron, so he would import them back to Japan, rebuild them, and sell them there. He didn't speak a lick of English. His wife barely spoke any English, and they did not even bother negotiating. I was like, I want, this much for it. And he was just like, cash, sign, out. I was like, that was fast. Oh yeah, Yamaha they make guitars, yeah, pianos as well too. They make great stuff. I mean, I think they make cellos and drum sets, all kinds of things, Yamaha's a great company. I mean, I was surprised, that they were so diverse in terms of like all the products they make. Oh, glued that together. They're Japanese. I'm willing to bet there is a Chinese counterpart to Yamaha now. But like, I don't know, like, the Japanese and their quality standards are just unbelievable. The Chinese probably have some issues getting there, but the Chinese are actually really good as well when they put their minds to it. They've gotten better over the years at making some products. Now that's going to be covered by a decal later anyways. I don't care. It's a little messy. Well, you gonna change your name again? What's it gonna be this time? Oh, okay. Make it a cheeseburger or a taco this time. Or you can always go back to pizza. I wonder if Hollow's gonna show up today. And the first thing I'm gonna say to him is like, "What you getting for lunch, pal?" Because we always seem to catch him in the lunch line. Oh boy. Okay, last piece. Let that dry for a minute. All right, Techna. Make it good. I'm peeling over here. Good God. I'm working too hard. My skin's falling off. I got the parts for the Jolly Sod coming here. I don't think you can see it too well. This is just the main cannon body, but I got more parts coming too. An EV, like an electric vehicle? Nah, don't believe in them. I think it's a fad. I just don't think that they're economic enough right now. Um, Most EVs are subsidized by governments, and they can't survive on their own in the long run. And you see like the subsidies slowly disappearing and whatnot. So I just don't believe them because also there's the 300-mile range on them. Like uh, you're really limited as how far you can go, and there's no quick change, battery stations and things like that anywhere. And I think that EVs would be more viable if they could do that, but they haven't. They haven't put the infrastructure in to make that possible. Now in China, I've seen that they have that where they have these stations that actually pull the batteries on the EVs and they just go 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 go, which is cool. And in China, they have their grid um, has they have enough excess power in their grid, and their grid's new enough that they could do that. In the States and in Canada, I mean, our grid's really old, you know. Oh, really? 1 year? That sucks. That really sucks. So you actually had to go to court. My God. Oh, there we go. Okay, so what's your icon? It doesn't look too different from your last one. So you didn't get a Tesla, huh? You went with Hyundai. I figured that you were talking about like a Tesla or something like that. Is that in right? Now it's in right enough. No, I've never been big into the EVs. A Chevy, like a 1957 Chevy with fluffy dice in the rearview mirror. It's all right. I'm a horrible speller and typer as well, or at least, you know, believe I am. No biggie. Nobody's taking points anyways. There we go. Keep that guy centered for a minute. You can't beat it. It's a, several hundred, or yeah, 100-year-old tech, 150-year-old technology that's still good. I mean, hey, JK, you remember back in the day, like during the 70s when there were oil embargoes and stuff like that, they used to make cars that would get 50, 60 gallons, or yeah, 56 miles to the gallon, and then they just suddenly stopped. It's like, why can't we go back to that? We can clearly make better vehicles that are more efficient. I don't understand, like, what happened. Why we came back to the gas guzzler. Like, is it the Saturn? Yeah, it was the Saturn sedan. Got something like 45 miles to the gallon, and then they just killed the project. I mean, they're great cars. I know that Volkswagen had a turbo diesel that could get like 90 miles to the gallon, and they don't sell them in America. What is it, Techna? There you go. It's out there. I just don't think that. I don't think they want to make our life easier. Call it a hunch. Okay. Now comes the part that I've been dreading. Well, looks like we got some parts done over there. Yeah, they did. They all just disappeared in a mysterious way. Remember fuel cell cars? We were going to get fuel cells that ran on hydrogen and oxygen for a while there, and the only byproduct was water during the Bush era, and that disappeared. 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to go grab a print. You started the book that I told you to write? Good. I want a book report in a week on it. Okay. We have some cannon rounds for our big guy here. Goes there like that. Yeah. You're writing a book. You can give me a book report in a week. You just give me the first chapter. Yeah. Right. X part off the print. Yeah. No chat GPT, and be sure to have all your references neatly laid out. What was that that college standard that they have? Gosh, what's that called? Is it WLA or something like that? I can't remember. WLA format. Ugh, I'm dreading this right now. We're gonna have to turn that into linked chain. This is slow and arduous. Well, if that is your control key just sticky? Because you can take them apart and clean them, Okay, here we go. You get a new Mac, and your key is busted, man, I take it back, get it fixed. But it's got to be under warranty, right? Apple Care. That's a big one, JK. You know, you're right. Kids these days, they got to learn to think critically. Three days, tick tock, tick tock. It's almost over. One more year down. Yeah. Happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday. You get to go back to school. Oof. You got Blender? All right, man. Good luck. Thank you. Blender. Ugh. I just get a chill thinking about Blender. I don't hate it. It's just that it kicked my butt. I lost. Like, I got in the ring with Blender and it was like, hey, yo, what's over there? And I went, you know, and I was on the mat. I was done. Blender whooped my ass. Pardon my language. It's tough. Well, hey, you know what? Maybe it speaks your language. I'm a firm believer that, you know, there's a program for everyone out there. It's just, it's got to speak your language. You know, it's, you might hop in and be like, oh, this is easy. You know, you might do exactly what you want it to. But I looked at so many tutorials, I could not figure it out. I tried and tried and tried. Every time it came crawling back. I was like, Tinkercad, take me back, please. And Tinkercad reached out its little hand and grabbed me and said, it's okay. I still love you. So I went back to Tinkercad and I've stayed. Well, hey, man, like, you know, you're also going to have all sorts of resources, too, at your school. I'm sure that maybe there's somebody there, maybe one of the teachers really well-versed in it, too. And I'll give you a leg up. Okay. All that work, and that's as far as I've gotten. This is so slow. But we want it to look good, so we're going to put in the time and the effort. Come on, dang it. Did I drill one out? Oh, you should try, before you get into sculpting on Blender, get into Nomad Sculpt. And it's free, it's online, you get to download all your files, and it's just as good, if not better than Blender's, and it won't bog your system down. The big problem with Blender is that it's not exactly optimized. So if you've got, you know, if you're using a lot of memory in the background, you can crash your system. But Nomad Sculpt is a great program. There's also one you can download. Give me a second. I'll get the name for you. Because I got it too, because I want to learn how to sculpt as well, you know, make faces and stuff like that. Yeah, it's called Sculpt GL. I'll put it in here. Let's see, where's my cursor? That's one. Yeah, and the other one is Nomad Sculpt, I believe. Like that. And they're both really easy to use programs, and they're really easy to learn on. There's a ton of videos out there. And I definitely want to spend more time on it because, like, Nomad Sculpt and Sculpt GL have really, like, just kind of sucked me in, you know? It's like, once you get into a groove with it, you're just, it's like throwing clay on, like, on a table and molding with your hands. You get used to it real quick. So I'm kind of psyched about that because, like, I want to have figurines to go with this, like, you know, like little captains and stuff, like sitting on top, and soldiers and stuff. So that's my way in. Yeah, you can. You can create an STL, you can create an OBJ, and I think an SVCG or something like that as well too. Oh, you mean like coming to the channel? Well, yeah, you gotta get your rest, man. Like, you know, I was actually thinking because, like, my kids are starting school too, and I got to get up earlier. I may shift the schedule back so I start at, like, you know, like 9 or 9:30 my time. That way, I'm not keeping you guys up too late. Of course, JK's like, I'm up all night anyways, right? Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I mean, you're an hour ahead of us, so makes sense. But hey, you know what? I mean, you can come in and catch as much of the hangout as you can, and we'll miss you when you go, but we'll understand. You'll be back. We'll be back. What you got to do is you got to let your parents see how cool we are, and then they'll be like, "Oh, more screen time for him." They're being a positive influence on his life. He found out about Sculpt GL because of these nice gentlemen. We need more people like them online. Oops, didn't drill that one. Don't know. You know the problem with making, like, sharp, realistic chainsaw style edges are for models is that they're sharp and realistic, and they dig into your finger and they hurt as you're trying to brace them to cross pin them. It's just like ow, 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 ow. I got calluses, man. I'm a working man, you know. I still pretty darn sharp. Oh, hey, JK. By the way, remember the other night when we had the 140 people show up? So one of the channels I was watching had put out a notice that YouTube is doing something funky with their algorithm, and that they're starting to make it so that, you know, even if you scroll by someone's video and you watch it for just a split second, that counts as being watched. and this is a new thing they're implementing. And a lot of people are like squawking big about it. They're really, worried because they feel as though like it's going to push up channels that really don't do anything, like a lot of AI channels and stuff like that. And it's going to mess with their ad revenue. And I was thinking to myself, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it got caught, in the crosshairs there for a moment. Yeah, and that's dumb. I mean, why? Like, what's the reasoning behind it? I mean, like, what do you guys think? Like, in my opinion, I think it's because they have particular channels they want to bolster, and I suspect that they want more AI stuff on there, even though people really don't. No. I don't understand why. That's just dumb. I wouldn't have done it that way. Fortunately, we live in an era where, in the event YouTube fails, there will eventually be another service that pops up that gives us what we want. So not count as engaged views. Oh, okay, yeah, I agree. Shit. Shoot, TikTok. I was actually going to try and stream to TikTok, but they have this like verification process, which is a little bit extensive. I was like, forget it. I'll just stick to Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, Insta has as well, man. But like, the problem with Restream that I'm using, it only allows you to use two platforms at a time, unless you're willing to pay. Until I get like the big affiliate, and I'm like represented by Pepsi or something like that. We're just going to do it on the cheap. Oops, where'd that guy go? Okay, I just lost that. Where are ya? Where did me chain go? Oh well. I can always print more. Oh man. Yeah, I guess they just want to. They're gatekeeping. They want to keep the money in with the in crowd. They don't want any upstarts coming up. I mean, I really don't have any like hope for like AdSense or anything like that on this channel. I'm just doing this because like I like sharing model making and stuff like that, and I'm old school like that. But I'm sure, like there are channels out there that are probably putting money back in the system in order to make sure that they remain on top at all times. Yeah, woo. So the program starting February 1st, you need 1,000 subs, 8,000 watch hours for long form, and 20 million in 90 days for shorts. That's insane. Who has that except like Mr. Beast or something? Do you think it's because the money is drying up that they're trying to bottleneck it this way? Or is it, that they're just super greedy and it's very lucrative right now? Because my gut tells me that it's bottling up, or it's drying up in a way. I just don't see much new talent out there. ADHD, we just call that extra energy, son. Put you on the farm for a couple of weeks, you won't have ADHD anymore. Pink's all right. Nothing wrong with pink. Just depends on how you use it. Oh, the singer? Well, actually, now that JK brings it up, the singer, dude. She was not. I mean, she was an okay looking girl for a while there, but I think she got on steroids. Like seriously, it looked like she was doing the bodybuilding thing, and she got all jacked, and her like stomach wall got all thick and stuff like that. Like she was doing HGH. It's like, dang, what happened to her? Because she was just like a normal girl, and then like she just bulked up in a very unnatural way. Did you guys see that, by the way? I mean, she just unnaturally got thick. John Michael Howell. You want to talk singers, man? Let's talk Johnny Cash. Or how about Elvis? Haven't heard anybody talk about Elvis for a long time. Come on. Ain't nothing but a hound dog. There's this funny kid who does like an impression of Elvis on Instagram. He's about 20 something. There's a really good impression of him. He's like, here we are trying out Long John Silver's, tasty chicken wings and fish sticks. And he just sits there and eats them, and he's doing Elvis impersonation the whole time. It's pretty darn good. John Stamos. Yeah, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. You want to talk singers? Let's talk Annie Lennox. Or how about Glenn Danzig? You ever heard of those guys? Or who would be another one? Gosh. JVKE. Actually, like, hey, Techna, isn't your generation kind of like the whole K-pop thing? Is that still a thing with kids these days? It's like when I was a kid, we had boy bands, just like the K-pop guys did. Backstreet Boys and New Kids on the Block and stuff like that. But now it's gone overseas. No, you haven't, JK. I know you're Korean, Techna. Doesn't mean you listen to that stuff. For all I know, you're into like Indian synth pop. Just kidding with you, buddy. So, JK, what do you do for a living, man? Oh, really? DJ Jazzy JK. All right, man. Getting up on stage. Guy's headphones on. Moving some sliders, Yeah, nothing wrong with that. All music is good except for rap. Not a fan. Well, let me guess. You ended up on Ibiza a couple of times, right? Nowhere. Oops. Eminem. Eh. Eh. Never been a rap guy. What kind of club is it? 32 years, man. That's a career. I hope they're paying you. And paying you well, too. Oops, missed that one. Oh, that kind of DJ? Are there poles involved and cats? Do you announce certain people before you start rocking the music out? Yeah. Gotta remember there's a youngin'. Woof. It's rough on the fingers. Well, you won't be for long, buddy. That 15 turns to 18 pretty fast. You gonna get your driver's license this year? Like your permit? Ah. I actually got my motorcycle license before I got my actual driver's license. It was very confusing for the DMV. They're like, can he get a motorcycle license before he gets a Class H license? Or Class F, I'm sorry. It's Class F. Oh, dude, I'm right there with you. Besides, if you're not laughing, you'd be crying, right? Better to laugh. That's why we're here, man. Let loose a little bit. To relax and have a couple laughs. There we go. So eventually, after much pain and suffering, actually I think we want to do it. No, we want to do it this way. This should line up and lock in over these gears. And we'll start to get our chain together. I printed it out in silk PLA, so I had that metallic look to it. That way we only have to put a black wash on it and some chrome to give it that metalled edge when it's done. It should look pretty good. Oh, she meowing at you. Feed me. I'm gonna starve. Getting all cozy, comfy. That's the way it's supposed to be. So, Tekta, were you born in Korea? I can't do that. You gotta brush those twofers. You know what they say. You brush your teeth in the morning to keep your friends. You brush your teeth at night to keep your teeth. .505 Korean. Born outside the Boda. Did you speak the language? Like, did your parents keep that going for you? %. Just another 50%. Yeah, my kids, my wife, you know, she speaks Russian to them all the time, so they're pretty fluent. I picked up a little bit myself. Yeah. It's nice to know a second language. It's very useful. God, that hurts after a while. Oh, man, now I can't get you to, you know, tell me how to say certain phrases so I can, when I get angry at my family, I can yell at them in Korean. That'd be hilarious. They'd be like, "Where'd you learn that?" I'd be like, "Oh, the internet. I got a buddy." There we are. That's a good tight fit right there. Yeah? Can learn some Filipino, man. I'm willing to bet he would sound it out for us. Wonder when he's going to hop on, if he does today. Yeah, we got some fun guys in our little group here. That's true. Can definitely learn some French phrases. I'll probably have to like copy the text you put in there and then go over to like Google Translate and have it pronounce it for me, you know, just so I don't screw it up. Now, somebody told me once that uh, French in Quebec is somewhat different than French spoken in France. Like the colloquialisms are different. Like, you know, it's pronounced differently or something to that effect. Is that true? And actually, Techna. Now that you're going to high school, don't you have to pick a language to learn while you're there? When I was a kid, it was kind of a requirement that you pick a second language. Ah, okay, gotcha. Well, that makes sense. You know, the continents being separated for so long, things would change a little bit. Are the French really snooty about it? No. I took Latin for 4 years. Don't remember any of it. The teacher was great though. That's why I took Latin. You know, I really liked the guy. Magister Morel, South African, nice fella. That's what you'll experience when you're in high school. You'll find the teachers that you like, and you just take their classes because you just don't want to be around other teachers. That you know, you want to be around people who are cool. Oh, really? I thought it was the other way around, JK. I figured that the French would be like, ugh, you're not speaking original French, you know. It's that weird colonial French, you know, or something like that. Forgive me, but that's how I always imagined it. Oh, that's cool. You got a D&D club? I wish we had that when I was in high school or middle school or wherever it is. They are snooty. Yeah. There we are. Tap that one in there because it's a little tight. Good there. Cool. Oh, that was the music. It ends with the thunderclap. No, it's not thunder. It's bombs. They're coming in. They're nuking us. Ah. It's over, guys. Armageddon. Maybe you didn't hear thunder. Maybe it's all in your head, JK. Did you ever think about that? Yeah, there you go. The meteor's here. We're all gonna die. Say goodbye to your loved ones. The end is nigh. God, my fingers are killing me, man. I got scars from doing this. It's like, stop complaining, you bastard. Just get it done. Yeah, it's early. Why is this? Okay, come on. Just drilled you out. Oh, you fall asleep to my my gentle ranting and ravings about asteroids and bombs going off. My oddball questions. Mm. I'll do some ASMR for you. I'm about to drink out of this soda can. Ah, refreshing. Let that soothe you. Actually, what's funny is like I don't really I don't fall asleep right away after the stream. I usually lie in like a bed and just put YouTube on and find something just out of the blue to put on the background. And eventually, I just like roll over and pass out. You know. You know, you'll find when you get older, Techna, it gets harder to sleep. And because your mind is just like constantly racing. JK, I'm willing to bet you have that issue too, you know? Just happens. You get over the age of 30 and you get less sleep. Oh, just, yeah. You're just scanning the interwebs. You're like, oh, who's this weirdo? Fair enough. The algorithm brought you to me. I am thankful. Hail the algorithm god. Yeah, 2 or 3 sessions. Yeah, I get that one. You wake up, you know, 2 or 3 in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning, something like that. Got to hit the head, come back, roll around a little bit. Yeah. If I'm really exhausted, like, you know, that's why like I try to get my exercise in the evening. You know, like I try to get really good exercise. Helps me sleep through the night. Sometimes I'll get a good solid 8 if I really wear myself out. I'll get deep sleep, but I gotta be exhausted, you know. Well, Techna, I mean, you're 15. You got that nuclear power going, you know. You're just a ball of energy, and that lasts a good while. Trust me. I mean, I remember when I could stay up, you know, all night and not be affected by it and go to school no problem. I wouldn't try that today, though. I'd die. Of course, about senior year of high school, I did have a tendency to fall asleep at my desk in some of my classes because the teachers were a little bit boring. Okay. Whew, getting there. You know, the Prince doing all right. Yes, you do. Yeah. He could time travel if he wanted to. Now, Techna, dare I ask, are you going to be doing any sports this year? A petawatt. There you go. I'd have to look at the scale again to see where a peta sits. It's been a while. Oh, that's good. Good sport. JK, did you play sports when you sorry. JK, did you play sports when you were in high school? Darn it. Come on, guy. Get in there. Oof. Yeah. That's one reason I never could get into football. The sheer amount of injuries I saw, man. Our coach was a slave driver. Girl at school suggested after I was the only one. Eh, there you go. My kids play tennis. They like it. I mean, it's good for hand-eye coordination. It gets you a good cardio going, you know? Oh, man, that's brutal. I had a buddy had something like that happen. He was playing soccer. A big guy came in to kick the ball and hit him right on the kneecap. Same thing, bent it right backwards. He was in traction for like a week. Yeah. I played the ultimate sport though when I was in high school. I was a couch surfer. Yeah. Couch potato champion right here, man. I played air hockey and virtual baseball and football. I was I was such a like just a total couch potato. I need more gray. Let me grab some gray. I'll be right back. All right. Oh yeah, BMX biking. That was big too. Yeah, I remember that. Everybody had like the pegs on the front wheels and the back wheels. They could do a lot of tricks on. And the big bike, like the best bike, was the mongoose. Everybody who was anybody had a mongoose. On the Wii. Yeah. Actually, one sport I always really enjoyed was bowling, but we didn't have a bowling team at our school. Like we'd go on a field trip every year to the bowling alley, and that was like the highlight of my year was to go bowling with the class. But we never had a team, sadly. Like if they had a team, I would have been a bowler, big time. You only beat them once, and they come back at you, huh? Okay. Actually, you know what was a really cool game? Like the Wii was all motions and sticks and stuff like that. It was interactive, but the PlayStation 3, for the longest time, had a Wii-like system. They had these two snow cones that you could hold and you could use, and there was a game called The Fights Light Out, or Fight Lights Out, and it was a boxing simulator, and it would track all your motions and do them exactly as you did them, and you could fight people online. I used to play that for hours, man. I would break a serious sweat. Like I'd go 100 rounds with a guy, and we just beat the crud out of each other. I never like PS3 is where I stopped. You know, that's when I was out. It started getting too expensive. I was in five-pin bowling team when I was like 10, but I would go and play the Pac-Man. Yeah, right. Hey, now let me ask you: was the Pac-Man a stand-up kind of thing, or was it the one that was in the table you look down on top of it that you sit down at? Because there was more than one Pac-Man machine. Ah, okay. Did you ever have the other ones in Canada? Like they would sometimes be at like a pizzeria. Like it would be like two chairs on the opposite side of a flat screen that you look down on and you can play it that way. Dance Dance Revolution. Dang, that was one that I missed, but it was a fun looking game. There was an arcade close by here, and there was a guy who played that every day, and like you could win tickets. He would walk out with armfuls of tickets, and I think they were selling like Pokemon cards or something like that. And he would just like get all of their decks just by he just beat that machine so many times. It's ridiculous. Oh, Joust, yeah, at the roller rink. It's funny. I was just driving around town the other day, and I took the different route home, and there's actually a roller rink really close by. I hadn't seen one of those in years too. I mean, it was right under my nose, just down the street. I have to take the kids to it. There are now trading cards for a game about cookies. So we're talking like chocolate chip, peanut butter, um, Schnickerdoodle. Oh yeah, dude, those were fun. Well, they were just so new. I mean, like we hadn't seen anything like it, and like those games. I mean, prior to that, we had nothing like that. I mean, Atari was about as good as it got, you know, and the arcades were just so much on a different level than the home console systems you could get at the time, like ColecoVision or the Atari. Was it 2600 or something like that? Cookie Run Kingdom. I'll have to check that one out. Is that just like an app game? Or is it actually like a card-based game? Because I know they got like these app games that simulate card games, but you can actually get. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, do they actually sell like card packs? Oh, dude, yeah. Now arcades back in the '80s, like the lighting, the ambience, the noise, the constant buzzing, the sound of like the change machine dumping tokens and stuff like that. Couldn't beat it. You could not beat it. And it just got better every year. New games coming out, lines of people around the whole place trying to get to the game. Would I stream games? Sure. It just depends, like, which game I would stream. I don't know. Like, if I'm waiting for Ark Survival Ascended to bring back a map that I was playing on Ark Survival Evolved before they canned the game. They remade the game, but they haven't brought the map back on that I was in. So once that comes back, I will definitely be going back to play Ark. That doesn't have to be 3D. Shoot. Techna, you know, if you want, I can give you an education in old school games. You know, if you want to watch me play games, I'll break out the old stuff. Break out Top Gun, you know, break out Metal Gear, the original, break out XCOM, you know, stuff like that. King's Quest, break out the old Sierra games. Well, okay, okay. How about I break out ET for the Atari? Let's see if you know that one. Have you ever heard of Space Quest? Dragon Slayer. Yeah. Interactive cartoon. Really way ahead of its time. I remember that. And you would like when I was a kid, I swore to God there was a movie based upon that game because it looked like a Disney film, you know, but there wasn't. Oops. That one's really tough to beat because you got your timing has to be perfect. But you actually beat it. Wow. I don't even want to know how much money you spent on that thing. Now, Techna on N64, one of my favorite games will always be Pilot Wings. That is such a great game. You know, the simulation, the flying, and all that, the parachuting, all that's so great. And then I actually sat down with a friend and we beat Donkey Kong 64. And that's a heck of an adventure. It's a long game. It's worth it. Huh. Don Bluth. Bluth. Yeah. I think he worked on The Last Starfighter and The Black Hole from the 1970s as well, too. That was a good one. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, DK64, man. Have you ever beaten that one? Ever played it? It's an adventure. It's right up there with Ocarina of Time and all that. Give it a go. It's fun. It's got really good music too. Hey, there's Hollowed. Welcome back, my friend. What's for lunch today? I'm gonna ask you it every time, dude. Oh, that reminds me, Hollowed. Check this out. I was digging around in my fish supplies. You might recognize these. Very tasty. I believe that's from your neck of the woods. You don't like that one? Which one do you like? I know they got a whole bunch of them. They have one that has like a black bean that's fried with it. That's so tasty. It's a very strong flavor. Yeah. Saba? Okay. Next time I get over to the Global Foods, I'll definitely get that. Let me write that down. Saba. Where's my pen? Pencil. I will check it out. Yeah, next time you guys see me, I'll be doing like a mukbang here. Like I'll have the robot holding the bowl, and it'll just be like, "Look at me eat, guys." No, if I were to do a mukbang, it wouldn't be some giant pile of food. It'd just be like a little something, you know. Some of those guys go nuts. Like, technically, you might get a kick out of this guy. He's from Korea, and I love him to death. His name is Tasty Hoon, and he's just like this typical like boring Korean dude. But every time he tries to like do a mukbang, something goes wrong. I don't know if he's planning or not, but it's funny, and you feel for the guy, you know. Well, we're all pretty childish here, so I guess we're kind of in the age range, mentally speaking. Maybe not physically. There we go. Lego or Mega? I will write that one down. Make sure I get the spelling right here. Very well. And don't worry about heat. I love spicy food, so if you want to recommend something super spicy, it doesn't bother me. I like to burn with my food. Actually, Hollow, is Filipino food traditionally spicy, or is it bland, or what's it usually like? Is it just kind of a savory thing? Spanish style? Okay. Adobo style, all that? Yeah. And my wife's food, traditionally, from her country, is very bland. Not much to it. But my family, being from the south part of America, we like our spicy foods. We like to throw a lot of pepper in our stuff. We like to burn. Okay. You see, JK, it's the opposite for me. I'm always telling my wife that she acts like a child, and I'm the mature one. But I do tell her that she acts like a 5-year-old. You came just in time, Hollow, to see the ever so painful process of making the chain for the armor mortiser, and what it does to your fingertips is it slowly eats away at your skin. You want to make it look good, you gotta do it. I did design one that you can print like this, and you just pull it up off the build plate, but the layer lines make it look really ugly. This is the best way to do it. It makes it look nice and clean. And then when I put some paint on this, it's going to look even better. Music change. Oh yeah, totally going to slap some crime to it. Here, I'll just swap the music here real quick. Something a little... There you go. Exactly. Well, I don't know, like, with 3D printing, you want everything to be vertical so you get the nice smoothness to it. And sometimes a wash and the grime will actually accentuate it and make it look worse. So it's always a balance, But we're getting there. Okay. I had done that before. I didn't get the results I thought I would. I got this philosophy, you know, if it's smaller than your fingerprint, it's good enough for tabletop. I mean, if it's smaller than what God gave you, I don't see why anybody complain about it, you know. Plus, I'm also a firm believer that in a few years, you won't even be able to see it anymore. It'll get to the point where it won't even matter, you know. As long as the development of 3D printing keeps going the way it's going to get so good it won't even matter, you know. I'll just print another one, you know, when it's time. What layer height do you usually work in, Hollow? Like when you do your prints? I've seen some people use Tamiya as well, like Tamiya cement, and they layer that on top, and it works. And there's one fella who was using a nail varnish, like, you know, like when your girl gets her nails did. Well, that works apparently really well on smoothing out some of the harsher layer lines. Oh, okay, yeah. And that's like, you know, for resin, it's like 0.04 baseline or something like that, 0.05. It's gonna be tiny either way. Give it time, Techno. Give it time. You're going to high school, it'll happen. Yeah, 0.4, 0.04. And like, unless you're really looking, you can't really see that. And if you put a layer of paint on top of that, gone. Well, you like us, right? We're people. You got that at least. Sage advice from JK. Plenty of time to slow it down and enjoy it. So Hollow, what are you painting your minis with? How do you approach that usually? Are you a big airbrush guy, or do you just do it with hand, hand-eye coordination, small brushes, single hair brushes getting that eye, you know? I just think Techno sounds cool. It rolls off the tongue. Techno. Ah, okay. Got a chunk of plastic there. Do you have a particular kind of paints you use? Like a particular brand? You stick with like Citadel, or do you use Vallejo, or what do they have out there that works really well? Ah. Speed paints, or just the standard stuff? Or both, I guess. Once upon a time, Vallejo wasn't fancy. It was actually the cheaper brand, you know. And they still are, to some degree, but they've come up quite a ways. Okay. Bump in it. Galileo Game Air. I guess it's a premix. Oh yeah, it's ridiculous how expensive this stuff is. Didn't used to be that way once upon a time. Imagine you carry the piano, like, get this thing out of here. I gotta build my painting booth. Yeah, I'm a little psyched about painting this guy too. You know, what sucks about it is I'm gonna have to take him apart again, and then I'm gonna have to put all these parts on post. I mean, the glued parts all stay together, but this is all gonna have to get clear coated, and some of it will have to get primed. And then, well, once that's done, I'll come back with the paints and get at it. Yeah. There we are. The labor of love, that's for sure. Actually, if you guys want to address each other, I think that if you do the @ function in the first couple letters of their name, it brings it up and you don't have to type it out. You just hit enter and type in what you want to them. Something like that. Yeah, that's true. Once you get a nickname, it's part of the crew. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to blow this sucker up in my slicer so it's much thicker and bigger. I'll make myself a watch band with these chain links on it, you know. Put my Casio on it. Okay, almost there. Well, that's been a journey. Yeah, do you have like a page you put it on? I was just saying you just drop it in the chat there. And then I can link it and check it out. Or what would be another way to do it? Let's say like you got a Twitter page or an Instagram. You can post your Instagram if you got one. See some of those Titans you printed out. Yeah, but you can post links to them. You should be able to go to the website if you post them. Like if he's got a page, you know, or like a Twitter account or something. Yeah, I can post my Twitter account here. If you have a Twitter account, you guys can send it me that way through a private message. I should do that. I haven't done the Google Drive yet. Hold on here. Let me go to my Twitter account. I need to link all my social stuff. I haven't done that yet. I'm being lazy. Let's see. I hope I'm doing this right. So bear with me, guys. I thought my YouTube had my Twitter stuff on there, my Instagram, but if not, I should do it. See if that takes you to my Twitter account. I don't post much on Twitter, you know, because like I don't get much engagement there, but every once in a while I'll post a pic of what I'm working on and stuff like that. Is that for an Instagram? Hollow? I'm sorry. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, good. Hold on, I can always go to the YouTube. I'm looking at it through a restream right now. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. And I'm not seeing it. Hmm. Community tab. How do we do that? Like I said, I'm still learning about all this stuff. I'll figure it out later. I just gotta go watch some more YouTube videos about how to make this more efficient. You know, I was thinking maybe opening up a Discord channel or something like that. So if you guys want to talk real time and not have to actually type, you could do that. You know, what do you guys think? Open up a Discord channel? Would you guys join a Discord if I had one? It'd be easier to share pictures and stuff like that for sure. And in the event you guys ever wanted to game, there would be the Discord as well too. Okay. Oops. Can't let that go. Yeah, I know a lot of guys have Discord channels and whatnot. Yeah, it's just another thing we got to learn, you know. Ooh, when did I do that? Okay, I screwed up there. Got the chain backwards. Yeah, I've got an old Discord channel that I think I can dust off, and then I'll post a link to it, like you know, either next time we get on. Let's see about setting up in there. That way you guys don't have to type so much if you don't want to. You can just yell at each other. Last one. Okay, man. Bugger. Flip this guy first. Well, I don't know. What topic you feel like talking? What's been mulling around in your head? What's going on in the Philippines these days? Did you ever find that croc they were looking for? Yeah. Yeah. Thinking about getting a motorcycle again for all these years. That's true. And arcade games, old school arcades. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Okay. See, it was worth it, guys. Look at that. 25-footer, man. How do you miss a 25-foot croc? Actually, they can be pretty clever from what I understand. Okay. Hold that for a minute. There's a guy who has a channel. It's called What Lurks Beneath. What Lurks Beneath, yeah. He's got a big beard, red hair, and he tells these stories like about, cryptids and stuff like that. And he had one that was about a croc like that here in America. Some guy had owned swampland. It was back in like the Old West, and apparently this guy was trying to reclaim this swampland to turn it into like farmland or something like that. But he kept losing cattle to this croc, and the croc was smart enough that he would go from one little pond to the next on his land. And it got to the point where the guy was chasing the croc around and throwing dynamite into these little pockets of water, trying to blast him out, because they're pretty crafty when they want to be. We had there was a croc. You can look it up. It actually was in Florida. Not a crocodile. Sorry, it was an alligator. A little different. Um, his name was like Old Mo or something like that. And there were a couple of guys who were on this golf course in Florida, and they were playing a game, and one guy fell behind on his game, and he's like, go ahead, I'll catch up to you. And they never caught up to each other, right? So they're looking around for this guy, and apparently this old alligator had been on that course, like, for like a decade. He was very skittish. He never bothered anybody. But after a while, they had to find out where this guy disappeared to. So they uh, they caught old Mo and they cut him open, and sure enough, they found that golfer in there. And there's a picture, you can see it. I mean, the alligator was probably about a 15 to 20 footer. He wasn't he wasn't super huge, but he was big. But they had a picture of him all split open. They got this guy's hand like this, so you can see the wristwatch on it, and it's it was bad, But he caught the golfer. It happens. Oops. 1,075 kilos. Jesus, that is huge. Is it just me, or like are sharks and crocs getting bigger? Like, I don't remember them being that big when I was younger. Like, it's almost as if they find like a bigger great white and a bigger crocodile, like saltwater croc, every year. Maybe there's something in the water. Too many nuclear power plants leaking radiation. Why flies? Oh, why files? No, I haven't seen that. I'll check it out. Maybe. Maybe it is that just info is more available now than before, but I'll tell you what, it just seemed like to me like when I was a kid that like, the movie Jaws was out and it's like a 20-foot, great white shark was like the pinnacle. It was like the largest ever recorded. And then like, nowadays you're like, oh, a 20 foot is nothing. There's like a 25-foot or 30-foot great white out there, you know. And they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Excuse me. I mean, as civilization pushes out into the wilderness, we're going to get closer and closer to the animals, and we do interact with them. Like up in the north, JK knows this one, like the bears and stuff, they come to where people live because the food's there, And it's not the people, it's the trash cans. Like in the north of America, we get bears, like brown bears and black bears, all the time, getting in the trash now. And it didn't used to be that way. And it's just because we moved close to their territory and they're like, oh, free food. Let's show up for it, Oh, that's where that one went. I had a spare all along. Come on. Spy Family. Oh. My daughter likes that one. She read the actual manga. And like every week it was like, Dad, can I have another manga? Amazon made its money off of me. There we are. There we are. Come on, guy. There we go. Not a bad print. Pretty darn smooth. Full Metal Alchemist. That's a classic right there. And M66 and Appleseed. There's another good one. You don't see that one very often. The Jolly Sod. Big old cannon. Now you can't see it, unfortunately. If I had more light, see if this flashlight works. No, of course it doesn't work. But I actually designed it so that there is a round in the chamber. If you look down the barrel, you can actually see the round in there. I'm not sure if you can see that right now, but now you can't. It's too dark. Yeah, anime nowadays is too much exposition. Like, you know what it was that cut me off? And you may be a fan of it, so don't hate me for saying it, but was it Genesis Evangelion? That just kind of bored me. Like, when that anime rolled around, I was like, kind of done with anime. It didn't seem like anything good was coming out after that. Excuse me. And I just kind of walked away and just stuck with what I knew. Hollowed, have you seen Berserk? There's a classic. And Techna, have you seen Berserk? If you have, I'm sorry. You're, if not, maybe wait a year or two. It's a little harsh. Well, when it comes to anime, I mean, you can pretty much pick it up anywhere. In my opinion, it's the rule of cool. You know, if the cover looks cool, watch it. You might like it. Oh, Berserk was your favorite until you converted? Yeah. Edge on that. It's a pretty harsh anime, Berserk. But it's got a good storyline. Let's see here. Yeah, for the anime, they did what they could. You know, the books were a bit different. I'm not sure if you read the manga. You know, it was a much more extensive story, book-wise. And then they actually did come out with some newer ones recently, which were pretty good too. All began back in the 1990s. Pokemon. Yeah. Too much rape all the time. Yeah. Yeah. Did you guys ever watch Game of Thrones? Like, I really liked that series, but it just there was for me there was just too much, you know, sexuality in it. You know, it got a little bit over the top and boring. You know, when a series does that, it does take it out of it takes it out of your hands. And it just gets weird. Rome. Let's see here. I'll have to check it out. It's hard to find time to watch any these days, though. I'm so busy. Like, this is my downtime with you guys, you know. Okay, what am I going to build now? This other part will hurry up and finish. I can build it. I'm actually kind of at a standstill here. I'll swap the hands. Come here. Give me your hand. It's the best Rome walked, so could slip and die. I'm not sure what I follow that. If I follow that. Let's do a test fit here. Keep bumping that over. That's pretty good. Oh, okay. Sorry, didn't catch the abbreviation. I gotcha. Hey, alright, look at that. We're getting there, man. Got to paint this guy all over again. What do you guys think? Should I go with the gauntlet hands or with the fingered hands for the final paint job? Or at least the initial paint job. Gauntlet or fingers? What do you think? Yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, excuse me. Yep. Gosh darn it, come here. Ready to chop his way through. The question is, should I install the gauntlet hands on these arms, or should I just leave the fingered hands on there? I kind of like the support of the gauntlet hand. A little more palmy, a little more grip. Okay. I'm a firm believer they shouldn't finish it. I think you should just walk away from it, frankly, you know? Because if you try and finish it, you know, you might screw it up. I mean, some stories are just better left to the imagination of how it ends. Have an arm coming out of his back. I still have to print out the little turret for the top, the Tiny Tim. Oh, save Tiny Tim. Yeah. Unless that piece gets done, I'm pretty much shot. I've got everything done here for now, it looks like. I think. Yeah. Just gotta get the Jolly Sod finished. And then I gotta print out the Baxter Bulldog. A couple of these guys. And then he'll be ready to start painting. That's gonna be a heck of an adventure. You know, when Tywin Lannister died, that's when I was out. I was like, that was my man, you know. And when they, out of the blue, he was like suddenly indebted to the Iron Bank. I was like, eh. That was never mentioned in like three like seasons before, and all of a sudden, he's impoverished to this unknown bank. And it's like, forget it. Yeah, I will be streaming the painting. What I'll do is I'm gonna clear coat the blue parts, and so I can wash those and weather them, because I've got a nice uh, matte clear coat that makes actually a pretty good primer on its own. And then the carapace up here and the arms, any gray parts, those are going to be primed and airbrushed, while everything else will be done with hand paints and pens. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get my Bob Ross out and be like, and we're gonna paint a happy little gauntlet here. And we look at that, we got some nice weathering. Remember, weathering is there's no mistakes to weathering. You know, this is your weathering, and maybe that robot's been out in a battlefield for 100 days, maybe 200 days. You know, no mistakes here. Yeah, totally. I'll be right back. I'm gonna check that print really quick. See how we're doing over here. Oh, oh, no. Oh my God. I'm getting some mad stringing on that guy. I'm going to have to do a stringing tower. Oh, I have to calibrate my machines. There's too much moisture in the air right now. You know, on the hydraulics for this guy, there's a big hydraulic system out here that's supposed to help with the recoil. And it has two posts like this. And when you get a lot of humidity in the air, it looks like hairs going between the two posts because the plastic is retaining too much moisture. And it's causing a connection between it. And it looks really bad. So tomorrow I will be calibrating. Joy of joys. So, yeah. Okay. Let's stand him up. See how we're doing. Walk like a man, my son. Oh yeah, that's the fun part. Seeing those hydraulics move. What it's all about. They need to be worked in a little bit. Still a little catchy there. A little polish could do that. But, yeah. He's gonna look good when he's done. He's gonna have just the right amount of wear and tear on him. Of course, everybody's gonna think he's an Imperial Fist because of the yellow. Let's see here. So, oops, not really showcasing him there properly. Ta-ding. So yeah, I was thinking about doing like an owl head motif here with wings, you know, like wisdom is knowledge or knowledge is wisdom or whatever. Owls represent wisdom as a symbol. And then on these areas here, I was thinking about doing like Vulcan's hammer and tongs here. And then what was I else? I was going to do like some Greco-Roman symbology here. Plus we've also got these areas which I could put like, I don't know, Medusa's head or something like that in there. Just some fun symbols. And then on this side, like this side will be all artwork. And then on this side will be all like technical stuff, like have a barcode or a QR code or something like that, you know. Yeah. Now, JK, you think this guy's big? From what Hollow has told me, he's made some Titans, and they're huge. It'll eat up your whole tabletop. Yeah, I'm just glad that I'm able to make stuff like this nowadays. When I was a kid, I used to dream about it. Oh, to design him? I don't know. Like, you know, there was a phase of me just designing a part, printing it, testing if it worked, throwing away the bad one, redesigning it, putting it, and it was like I just chisel at it a little bit here and there. Oh, Techna, we'll see you later, buddy. You have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. You know, always a pleasure to have you. Always good talking to you. Take care now. But yeah, like so I just like dabble in it, design a little here, a little there. Then I'd spend a chunk of time designing them, then I'd spend no time. So I don't know. I mean, he probably took me a good portion of a year to get together, but it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like I was working on him every day, all day. Like if I actually could do that, I'd probably crank it out a lot faster because when I'm designing something, I get into the zone. I could put hours in on it, you know. I mean, endlessly. Like Vexus, the other guy I was working on, I probably designed his armor plates and all that. The other robot, I probably designed his stuff within a month or two, once I got going, once I had more time to sit down. So it's okay, Techno. You can fall asleep to the sultry tones of my voice as I sip my Diet Dr. Pepper. But yeah, like, if I could spend more time designing, I'd be able to crank these things out a lot faster. Like, I mean, it probably took me like a few days to design the MMC, Like I had the base idea of what I wanted to do, and then you just like in Tinkercad, you start throwing down objects and start cutting parts out, and adding here, taking away there, and it just kind of comes together over time. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try and say it. No, I'm not gonna try and say that. Que je vas vous parler et fos es a partir de... I'm not even gonna try. Appreciate you. Oh, it's actually been 2 hours. Good gosh. Yeah, I know my French. Sorry. I could say I could apologize in Russian if you want. Извините, я не знаю французский. Oh, there you go. Oh boy. Yeah, we'll wait. Once I get the Discord going, you can speak to everyone in French. You confuse the hell out of us. How's that sound? A French frog. Well, yeah, it's been 2 hours and 9 minutes, so I should probably head out. In fact, I don't have any more parts to put on this guy for now. I need to print some more out for tomorrow, but I think by tomorrow this guy will be ready for the painting part. So, if I don't have anything else to put together, we may just be hanging out. I may how do you guys feel about me showing you how I do my design process? Like I've got some projects I'm working on. I can pull up the 3D software and I can just work on that. We can hang out, while I'm doing that too. Would that be something you guys would be interested in? Because this guy's almost done. I gotta have something else to show you, right? That's one vote. Sure, sure. I mean, like, and while I'm doing it, if you guys got any questions, I'll show you, my technique, and you guys can follow along. You can load up the program; it's free online, and give it a go. And I can coach you through it while I'm working on my projects, and you can try and work on some projects for yourself. Make some parts for your own. You never know. You might take right to it. Yeah. And if you want to see some more details about like particular parts of this Mac, like their design, I can show you. So we'll do that. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, awesome having you all back again. That went really quick. I'm surprised at how fast that went. We get to talking and things get done. I will have to say adieu, auf Wiedersehen, farewell, and I will see you all tomorrow. So you all have a good night now, okay? Adios in 3, 2, 1.